Hey there, Westfield. My name is Ryan Monson. This is Tanner Gurren. This is the Football Wrap. So, Tanner, this week our Rocks took on HSE in the second round of sectionals. Everyone was kind of, yes, we beat Noblesville. And then we were like, oh, we play HSE? Uh-oh. So, I know I was saying, okay, it's an away game. I probably don't want to go because when we played HSE in the regular season, we got dominated pretty hard. So I was like, all right, we're probably going to get blown out. I'm not going to go to the game. I get updates to the game. So, I'm just doing my thing, going on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And so I'm getting updates, and I'm like, oh, Westfield's winning. Okay, they're winning by a lot more and more. And I was like, maybe I should go. And so it was 24-0 in the first quarter. So we were completely surprising everyone that was there, I'm sure. Nikita had 2 picks in the first quarter. So I almost left, but went to dinner, got more updates. HSE got 6 points, then some more points, and eventually they scored 42 straight points and took down the Rocks. Yeah. So in the end, I guess we probably didn't make too many plays. Like I said, didn't go to the game, but I heard we started out great. We probably just didn't finish like usual. So we end on a sour note. Our final record's 5-6. Gilbert's first year, what is your overall assessment of Gilbert's performance stepping in for Belton?
I think he's really turned the program around. Belton did a good job getting us to where we are. And I think Gilbert's just continuing with that, just obviously we've always had a big support for the football program. I think he's just about got us over that hump to get to the sectional final. So
because they have that rearrangement of the 5A and in the coming years, they're probably going to be a 6A.
Yeah.
And so there's this shuffling of conferences, sectional play. We're lucky not to draw Carmel.
I know.
And so
they got put in a tough sectional.
Yeah, they got put in a tough sectional with Warren Central and all those guys. So I think, honestly, Gilbert did a great job. I know for a fact this is probably one of the most conditioned teams, best. We revamped our entire coaching staff. The feeling I was getting from the players is this want of success, and this work hard attitude for once in this family. So, congrats to the Rocks for the season that you did have. You did come in late and good towards the end of the season, and you finished good in Noblesville sectional game.
And you gave HSE a good half.
It'll be interesting to see about next year when Nick Ferrer takes over for Wade Bertrand, and all the other pieces are going to shuffle around because we're going to lose a lot of seniors.
Oh, yeah.
So, now we're going to do our top 5 of the week. Last week we did college football. And so this week, going to have a little fun. Our top 5 weirdest or coolest names in sports, period. So, go ahead and do your top 5.
Okay. For number 1, I have he's a incoming player at St. John's at a junior college named God's Gift Achua, and he's actually looking very good. He had 21 points in their first exhibition game.
Okay.
And this guy you might know is one of the biggest idiots in the history of the NBA. Formerly known as Ron Artest, he has now legally changed his name to Meta World Peace. And so see how that goes with the jersey.
Yeah.
And this is a Nets NBA player. I think this is a pretty cool name, World B Free.
Yeah, and the letter B.
Letter B, that was his middle initial.
Yeah.
And then retired relief pitcher who's now in the Hall of Fame, Raleigh Fingers. He had a great slider. And this is a retired South African soccer player. He used to be with their national team, Dr. Khumalo.
Nice. Solid top 5, Tanner. So for my top 5, most of you might know this company for making children's toys, Milton Bradley. He also plays baseball. Did you know that? Second one, kind of funny. A corner's job in football is to jam the wide receiver. Quentin Jammer, cornerback for the Chargers. Then we have God Shamgod, who played for Providence way back when. And this guy's name, this is actually a girl. Peekaboo Street. She's a skier. And then Chad Ochocinco. Apparently, nobody told him that 85 is Ochenta y Cinco. And yeah. So, mistake on that part, but he wanted to be cool. Didn't happen.
I think it's a cool name.
Okay. So, that's our top 5 for the week, guys. Now we're going to do our picks for college football. First game of the week is Texas A&M, 5-3. One of those teams people were looking out to be really good. Kind of just tanked it. Dropped the ball in big games. You know, they're 5-3. They lost to Missouri 38-31 last week. Going up against number 6 Oklahoma, who tripped up against Texas Tech. They won at Kent State 58-17, blew them out. K-State was like that underdog, in my opinion, to win the Big 12.
But in that win, they did lose their leading rusher to a broken ankle.
Boom. So, who do you got, Oklahoma or Texas A&M?
I think Oklahoma. I mean, that's obviously a big loss, and they're losing their leading rusher. But it's Oklahoma; they should be able to find somebody to replace them.
Yeah.
And it's Big 12. Points or defense does not exist in the Big 12.
Yeah, Oklahoma's going to want it even more. Once you lose once, you're not going to want to lose ever again.
No.
Tim Tebow, for example, loses that one game against Ole Miss, goes on to go to the championship game. So, I got Oklahoma in that one. So, second game is number 9, South Carolina. Loses their quarterback, Stephen Garcia. Loses their running back in Marcus Lattimore. They probably will not be ranked for long. They still have their defensive end who's beast mode in their Jadeveon Clowney. Awesome name. So they're 7-1. They beat Tennessee 14-3 last week. They're at number 7 Arkansas, 7-1. They had beat Vanderbilt last week in a close game, 31-28. Who do you got in that game?
I actually got South Carolina. Obviously, you saw the strength of their defense against Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Arkansas struggled against Vanderbilt, although that was on the road. But I think Connor Shaw stepping in pretty well to replace Stephen Garcia. I think he's played pretty good.
I think Connor Shaw was ready to go regardless if Stephen Garcia was going to be back because Garcia was missed, the charges and all that kind of stuff, so he was suspended. So Connor Shaw was ready to go, so it makes sense that he's able to step in. But I still like Arkansas because I think they're finally establishing a running game. And, they just have a great wide receiver core, defense that's just underrated. So, the game, probably the century by pretty much everyone who is watching football this year. Number 1, LSU at number 2, Alabama. They're both undefeated. Now, interesting thing here is if whoever team wins or the other team that loses might still be able to get into the national championship, which is kind of interesting. So, who do you have in this very, very close matchup? They both have extremely good offenses and defenses as well. Who do you got?
I think to go on with your note, for that time, for them both to get in, LSU would have to be the loser in that game, I feel, because they are the higher-ranked team. But this has been a series dominated by road teams, as we saw LSU winning last year, even though that was home, but previously had been a dominated road series.
Yeah.
I actually like Alabama. I think A.J. McCarron stepped in pretty well. Trent Richardson, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So I think it'll be a very low-scoring slugfest, maybe 13-10.
I think if LSU wins this game, it's just going to make it clear that they are going to be in the national championship game. Mark my words. If LSU wins this game, they're going to the national championship. I think if Alabama wins, I still feel like they still need to prove that they're number 1. I still think LSU could sneak in. I still feel that way.
If Alabama wins, they still got that Iron Bowl against Auburn Thanksgiving weekend.
Another trip-up game possible. So those are our college football picks of the week. Now we're going to NFL. So first game, local game, Atlanta Falcons at Indianapolis Colts. Colts continue to lose. They lost to Tennessee last week. Atlanta continue to doing work. Who do you got in this game?
Atlanta.
Obvious pick.
Simple. That simple.
Yeah. I'm going to agree. It's not more than kind of obvious. Atlanta's just rolling on all cylinders, got too many playmakers. Indianapolis can't make enough plays.
They've tripped up a bit, but, Colts.
I just hate it because for Colts fans that are still hanging with them, they're just like, oh, yes, we're going to go. I can feel the Colts' pain because it just sucks. It really does.
I do see the Colts getting a win, I think, when they play the Jaguars or Titans. Somebody late in the year that doesn't mean anything to them.
I still think Indianapolis would lose at Jacksonville for some reason, but I think Jacksonville at Indianapolis, I got Indianapolis.
I think Indy will take the season. I think they'll win both against Jacksonville.
Yeah, but you also have to think about them throwing all games to get Andrew Luck, but Peyton Manning is being selfish and says, when asked about getting Andrew Luck, was like, so do you want the Colts to get Andrew Luck? And he was like, no, because you have me. And I was like, yeah, because you're going to play for 10 more years, Peyton. So, Peyton Manning's just being extremely selfish.
Even if Peyton does come back, let's say he plays for 3 or 4 more years. There is Andrew Luck going to want to sit that long?
Exactly.
Because I think he can step in.
Well, you can also think about, the quarterback's not only needed, their offensive line's getting old,
Yeah.
defensive line's going to need more people soon.
Yeah.
Um,
the defense, I mean, it's not just you lose Brackett and you lose.
Exactly.
Who was it they lost? Like safety. Who's that?
Oh, yeah. Tip of my tongue, yes. He's up on the Chargers now.
No.
No?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
It was a young player.
Okay.
I can't remember his name.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so they lost a lot of key players. That's the point. So one strategy would be to draft Andrew Luck and then trade him for another person, right?
Yeah.
That's a powerful thing. You could get some players. Maybe they could get some of the Dolphins. What's his face? Cameron Wake for Andrew Luck.
But and the Dolphins, because they're still yet to win as well. They have the same thinking as the Colts.
Yeah.
I like to see them fly.
Yeah.
And in the tie.
All right, so our second game is Baltimore at Pittsburgh. First game of the year. Baltimore took it to Pittsburgh. Do you see a repeat, or Steelers going to come back for revenge?
It is at Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's riding off that huge win against New England.
Yeah. I'm actually liking the Steelers in this one. It's at
Yeah.
tough place to play, Heinz Field.
Oh, yeah.
I think Roethlisberger steps up in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll take Pittsburgh in this one. I think Baltimore is just going to hit that midseason slump. I honestly do. So now our last game is Chicago at Philadelphia. Philadelphia finally winning. Yay! Chicago's just inconsistent. I think Philadelphia continues their win streak. What about you?
Yeah, I actually like the Eagles in this one. I was kind of just surprised to see how they just totally tore apart the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Just absolutely. Cutler's he's like the most inconsistent quarterback I can think of.
I think it's going to be funny when they get a bad draft pick, like they get a high draft pick, and they've got so many weapons they really don't know what to draft, so they end up drafting bad.
Yeah.
That's going to be funny. All right, so our final portion, Tanner, is Stump the Gurren. Hopefully you weren't looking at the paper.
I was not looking at the paper.
So basically, guys, if you tweet WHS_RockTV, send in schools and let's say Zionsville Eagles. So this guy knows all the nicknames to those schools. So we're trying to stump them. We're going to start keeping track of this record and see if the fans can catch up to you. We started after 2 weeks ago, so you have 4 wins, 2 losses, so you're 4-2. So we're going to try and stump. We have 3 teams this week. This guy's going to turn around. I'm going to say the school. He's going to guess. If he guesses wrong, fans get a point. Gets it right, he gets it right. He gets a win. All right, first one. Churubusco.
They're the Eagles.
His answer was the Eagles. That is incorrect. Point for the fans. It is the Giants. Second one, DeKalb.
They're the Barons.
He said Barons. That is correct. Win for Tanner. And the final one is New Prairie.
They're the Cougars.
Cougars is correct. He was 2 for 1. So Tanner wins this matchup. He is now going to be 6-3. Fans, you need to tweet us. You tweet me, themonsoon17, or tweet WHS_RockTV. Get suggestions in here. That's all. Stay classy, Westfield.
I guess.
Hey, Strike, we're done.